Alright guys, you'll have to forgive me, the weather was pretty horrible outside, so what I've done is I've come inside and dubbed over the top of my video. So these panels have been up for the last couple of days. They're facing south, which is where I intended to install them in the first place. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, I intend to diversify my charge source mostly during winter when it's overcast outside, and I wanted to sort of maybe trap some indirect light and see if I can make some power out of it. But this isn't going well. These things are up against the fence. They're on the wrong angle, so I'm sure that that's a contributor right now to them not working properly. So I'm going to adjust the angle on them, drop them down to something that reasonably sort of represents the south-facing roof that they're going to be on, and see if they work any better. But at this stage, they're producing about 4% of their total output, by comparison to the new Trina panels that are doing sort of 8 to 9% on the worst in their worst performing days. So, right. Well, this is the circumstances I was trying to get more power on. So hopefully being on a better angle makes these things perform a little bit better. They were getting like less than 5% this morning up against the fence with the indirect light, so this is more realistic of the angle that they're going to be on if I put them on the south roof. So I guess we'll find out. So as I was editing the video, I was having a look back to see whether or not that change I've made on the angle has made a difference, and it does appear that it has made a difference. So I know it's probably not very clear in what I'm trying to show on the screen, but it's bounced up to about a third. So 1/3 of its potential maximum output while it's facing in the wrong direction, which that's good, right? Well, it's certainly better than 4 or 5%. So yeah, I'll marry it up with what the Trina panels are doing, and see if I can draw a comparison. It's never going to be fair because the Trinas are either facing west, north, or east. None of them are facing south. So it's really only a guideline or a sort of indicative metric to use, I suppose. But yeah, really, there's not a good option for mounting panels facing into the wrong light. That's what it comes down to in a nutshell. So no matter what I do here, it's not going to be ideal. This is really only about trying to get as much power, given the surface area I have on my property, as possible. And this is only a 770 square metre property, and in Australia on single phase, for example, they would only let you have 5 kilowatts of power production and 6.6 kilowatts of panels commissioned. So the fact that I've got such a small property and I'm already well and truly well past what a grid-tied system would allow me to have, you know, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? It's awesome as it is. So trying to get blood out of a stone here at the moment. So yeah, as it stands right now, I've got a 5 kilowatt inverter with 5.5 kilowatts of panels that are attached to the grid. And even though my ESS shows the grid side, it's only because I've got meters. I'm not actually attached to it. They're actually two independent systems. So on the off-grid side, I can peak to about 17 kilowatts. I'd like that to be 20. I'd like to see, when the sun's out, I'd like to see a day's worth of power go into the battery in 2 hours, which means I've got to thump like 20 kilowatts into the battery in 2 hours. That's the goal anyway. So yeah, I'll let this thing go for another couple of days. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll make a decision on whether or not we're going to put in 2 or 3 kilowatts of these Kanika panels.